Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Pronico, this is Pronico Plays, and here we are playing Fall from Grace, created by Desler. This is the second episode, Charred Shuttle. 8:38 PA Sargus time limit, patrol over Char. So another custom loading screen as we see here. I don't know if the colors have been screwed with. Kind of look like lava.
Asadar has defeated the Overmind. Though the broods still lay waste to our planet, it is of little consequence. They will be dealt with in time. Ron, we are sending you on a mission to Char. We need to know the situation there, so we are gathering reconnaissance for an assault.
Forgive me, Adjudicator, if this sounds a little forward, but I do believe our resources would be best spent by dealing with the Zerg from Ire. Only when we cleanse the Zerg from Ire can we spend our time ridding the Zerg from other planets.
Kane, what is your assessment of the situation? Ron speaks the truth, Adjudicator. We cannot hope to balance out the situation on Ire by seeking trouble on other planets, especially the vastly infested world of Char. No, I think our salvation lies in the Dark Templar. We should seek. No, this debate ends now. The Dark Templar are not to be trusted. They may have helped to defeat the Overmind, but their ways are not ours. Ron, the Conclave agrees that in order to defeat the Zerg, we must gather information on the situation. Go to Char immediately.
Immediate.
Very well, Adjudicator. I will take Tane and 7576 with me. We will leave immediately, as you requested.
Immediately.
Do not presume to make decisions, young one. Kane and 7576 will remain to protect the citadel of the Executor. Judicator, I must insist on remaining with Ron. His training is nearly complete. In fact, the journey to Char will more than provide me with enough time to instruct the young Templar in the final lessons required. Ron knows enough to handle himself, Tane, and you are required to protect the citadel of the Executor. Judicator, please. I can finish his training, and he can go to Char as an old Templar warrior, and with my help, the mission will succeed. If it is the Conclave's will that he is to go to Char, then I think they will be pleased that a warrior goes with him to ensure that Ron completes his mission. You are correct, Tane, but we require you at the Citadel. I shall send a warrior of the Conclave, one of our most powerful Archons, to accompany Ron.
Archons.
This should calm your fears. Very well, Judicator. I am an old man. I have not the time to argue anymore. Ron, you and this Archon warrior of Cyrodiils will go to Char. Worry not, my friend. I shall stay behind to defend Ire from not only the Zerg, but from itself as well. Judicator, what I say now, I say as a protest, and not as a Templar master. The Conclave has lost the way of the Kala. Adun would be ashamed if he saw his legacy on this day. Furthermore, it saddens me that you will not allow me to finish this young Templar's training. Be mindful, or you will need more than a Dragoon suit to sustain what is left of your former self, Tane. Colonel Drek would like to speak with you, Ron. Name 7576. I will expect to see you both at the Citadel of the Executor within the hour. That is all. Ever since the Conclave has agreed to allow the Dark Templar to help, their judgments have been wavering. Nevertheless, we must accomplish what they ask of us. Our honor demands it. I will finish your training when you return to Ire. Good luck, Ron. Kane out.
I will see you when I return to Ire, 7576. Good luck to you, friend.
Greetings, young Templar. I am to inform you that I am Marilyn Albrecht. Let me tell you this right now. I do not tolerate any lack of respect. Whatever objections you may have to my methods, I highly suggest you leave them on Ire.
You do not need to remind me of my place. I am a loyal servant of the Conclave, and I will always follow my instructions. Before we leave Ire, though, I must insist that we speak. How fare you?
I am impressed, young one. Most Templar your age who have mastered the psionic storm usually have a superiority complex, thinking that because they know our most powerful spell, that they are suddenly masters of the universe. I must say, you handled my little attitude test quite well. I have a feeling we are going to get along just fine.
Indeed, I know of such Templar. Mr. T has quite a few interesting stories. But you did not answer my question. How fare you?
If you must know, I am quite well. Thank you for asking. Now then, young one, we have a mission to complete, and I am quite ready to be done with it. I heard Cyrodiil and Tane's conversation. Tane is correct. The Conclave's judgment has lacked a certain wisdom in recent days. This mission does not agree with me either, but we will accomplish what is instructed all the same.
Well, that was way longer than it needed to be, for one. And for another, a lot of the dialogue in that briefing I felt was really awkward. It's just... I think part of the fact that or part of what contributed to it being awkward was definitely, at least in my estimation, related to them really trying to... Like, Desler really wanted to make it sound Protoss-y. He had some obvious slip-ups, like saying... What did he say? Protoss instead of Protoss. Archon. Tane had another... oh no, it was Cyrodiil where he said Dragoon. You know, there's all these like pronunciation, diction, delivery issues, and it makes these Protoss seem a lot more slow to speak and really just slow moving in general than the Protoss in the vanilla game are presented to be. So you get the sense that not only is Cyrodiil just an obvious idiot for being so close-minded about the Dark Templar, which is already beaten into us with Aldaris in the main story, but you also have just the problem that they all seem really, really slow to establish any point and talk about irrelevant things, which is really not what we're led to believe, that the Protoss are very direct. That's how they present themselves. So the idea that you go from Blizzard's presentation of the Protoss in StarCraft 1, which I don't think was a complete picture, but really showed us that at least, to this presentation, I feel like Desler really missed the mark there. Anyways, since that was such a long briefing, I'll try and speak more about it when we get in, as opposed to wasting more time. Rhonda Merlin Maladric must survive. Gather information about the situation on Charred by flying in the lower atmosphere with a shuttle. Sounds like a very exciting bit of gameplay.
I think we are just wasting our time here.
It is the Conclave's will, and not ours, to...
What's wrong with the shuttle?
It appears that the systems are overloaded due to the heat. We are in for a bumpy ride.
Aye, aye, aye. Anime.
If I may ask, Merlin Aldrich, what do you plan to do now?
It was through no fault of mine that the shuttle crashed. If anything, you should be thanking me that I managed to get us out before we crashed.
You should have kept an eye on the systems of the shuttle to make sure they were doing well.
Me? It is you, young Templar, who should be keeping a watchful eye on the systems of our shuttle.
Really? Me? That is interesting. More interesting is the fact that you are complete idiots. And don't get me started on the Conclave. Go here, go there. I think this whole organization can go straight to hell. And if you have any complaints, hold it, hold it. Do you hear something?
God damn it.
Hey, what you fellas doing down there on that there ridge? You boys need a lift? We saw your shuttle go down. Thought you might need some help.
Indeed, we would appreciate any assistance, Terran.
Well, who need? Hop on board then. We got room in my cruiser here.
The briefing wasn't long enough, guys. This is a good primer before we start flame knives next. You could tell that there's a lot more attention to ambiance and detail in this version of Desler's work. You know, the Wraiths chasing the Mutalisks, random sound effects playing, stuff that we're observing. At least there's stuff to look at, which was really lacking in a lot of the quote-unquote cutscenes of the Phoenix. You know, like, Fall from Grace has a lot more attempt at selling a sense of character to the environment and the actual characters. Like, there's a sense of spunk, I think, that you really don't get from the other Desler campaigns or the older the Phoenix campaign. I don't think that the execution was the greatest or that the characters are really that great, personally, but...
Well, nice to meet you, fellas. I'm Joe Klein. This here is my company. We're former miners, the Confeds.
Interesting. I thought the Confederation was destroyed.
For the most part, it's gone.
Okay.
There are still a few of us, like our little mining group here, that keep on going, though. Say, what are you fellas doing in this hellhole?
We were sent here to gather information on the Zerg. I'm surprised to see that any Terrans could make it out here on Charred.
Oh heck, we've been making it off luck, really. This area is so full of volcanic activity that it makes the ground too unstable for their green goo. So the Zerg can never really get a hive going here, no matter how hard they try. Any hives we see, we take care of right off.
I see, though, that you have established a base here.
Yeah, this is the only place suitable for miles. We do our best to keep it Zerg free, and it's actually quite a treasure, which is why we stick around. Them mineral things be popping up left and right after each volcano. We got so many we don't know what to do with them. Our miners can't keep up with the demand to mine, really. We estimate that if things keep up the way they do, this place will be spitting out the minerals till we die, or we lose the base, whichever happens to come first.
Quite extraordinary. Anybody would surely love to get their hands on this base. But since the Zerg cannot establish a base here, I guess you have everything well in hand.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, but the Terran Dominion found out about this place, and that greedy organization wants to get their hands on this deposit. A former Confederation general who works for the Dominion now landed his troops here, and he's smart, that's for sure. Goes by the name of Duke.
I wish we could assist you in your mission, Terran, but we have our own problems. These are perilous times for Ire, and we must return there as soon as possible.
We lost our communications 2 weeks ago. Damn Dominion forces got a lucky shot off with their Yamato cannon. I reckon we can have communications restored in another week or so if you boys would like to stick around.
A week? We do not have that kind of time. Every second we are away from Ire just means that we are not around to assist in its defense.
Well, there is one other way. Seeing as how you're stuck down here, my forces are about to raid the Dominion forces to the south. Right now, they only have a command center set up, but it's possible they also have a communications relay there as well.
If there is a possibility that we could return to Ire soon, then we must take it.
Hootie! Well then, looks like you just volunteered to be our diversion.
I've been playing, quote unquote, for 15 minutes.
You Dominion people, get out here and fight!
This is General Edmund Duke of the Terran Dominion Armada. You are in violation of our airspace and have endangered human lives. I order you to withdraw your ships immediately. If you fail to comply, I will not hesitate to open fire upon your vessels.
Under Confederate Regulation 20-420, you are in violation of our airspace. I suggest you withdraw immediately, General.
I don't care what you have to say about Confederate regulations. You damn fringe world yokels are all alike.
Oh, poor General Duke. Too scared to come over to our side and open fire.
I don't need to take that from you, boy.
Hey, Duke, you can kiss my French world yokel ass.
I'm gonna have to assume that was a hostile response.
All units, open fire.
So epic. So cool. This feels really epic and cool.
Head southeast. We'll keep these guys distracted as long as possible. Destroy their command center, they'll be forced to skedaddle.
Skedaddle. Holy shit! Merlin Aldrich moves a little fast. Wowee. Well, it says southeast. We're going in the bottom right. I guess we'll go ahead and save. God forbid we have to fucking deal with watching another 18-minute cutscene. Wowee. I think we are going the right way. No. At least we can pretty easily make it around the area with Merlin Aldrich. He has his own voice lines. It seems like these units were created by triggers instead of pre-placed for whatever reason. Not sure why, but it's that way. We don't have any upgrades. I don't know if there's even AI running. Give him a kiss.
Can't hold up much longer. Our front lines are going to pieces like a chicken in a blender. Hurry up and destroy that command center.
You got it, man. Well, goodbye, Goliath. Whatever. We're on our way in. I think, wait, I didn't have any energy? Wow, what a well-defended command center. I wish I kept that Goliath alive now, so this would be faster. I mean... doesn't seem like they're having that much of a problem with that. Preserve triggers set health to 100%.
They're leaving! You did it! Great job! I'll send a cruiser to inspect the wreckage for the communicator. Meantime, why don't you guys meet back at my base? You fellas are in luck. We found a communicator among the wreckage, and it works.
Thank you, Terran. We will contact our people immediately. Thank you for your hospitality, Terran.
Oh heck, it wasn't nothing. We owe you a big favor for helping us out. So if you ever need anything, you just come see old Joe Klein.
I will do that. Thank you.
That was not even a 20-minute mission, and it had like a minute of gameplay? That's crazy. That is actually insane. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. This is something that I feel like if the stakes were to be believed, what would have needed to happen is we actually would have had to command some small Terran squadron or something. Maybe a section where we could only have like rudimentary base structures, no resource gathering. It would just be like a barracks and an engineering bay or something. Some sort of like tactical shit going on there. While a larger Confederate outpost, maybe that base that we were in, if it were located in a way that was more reasonably accessible by the enemy, maybe we could have like impacted some sort of tug of war between them or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess that doesn't really fit with the idea that the Confederate remnants are so, they're supposed to be strapped for units and stuff. Like they don't have the largest of militaries, especially compared to the Dominion. This is after the Brood War Protoss, or this is like almost in. It's in between the end of Vanilla Protoss and the beginning of Brood War Protoss or something along the timeline. So I don't know how that explains away Duke being there, because this is already after Tassadar destroyed most of Duke's forces that remained after the Zerg campaign. So I have no idea why Duke is still here. So maybe that would have actually explained their relative strength, where the Confederate remnants have like 1 million battlecruisers. You could have changed it so that they had, instead of 1 million battlecruisers, had like another base somewhere and some units to spare. Instead of us, I think the suspension of disbelief would have been a lot better if they had like just a bunch of basic units and stuff like that could have been used in a tug-of-war sense, as opposed to having a bunch of battlecruisers. Like, that doesn't really fly with me. I don't understand how the Confederate remnants would have had access to the same fleet in terms of strength, like number of ships, as the Dominion fleet does. And I don't even think the Dominion fleet should have had that many things, given the timeline. So, I mean, that's my 2 cents about this mission. I feel like obviously the really prolonged amount of time we spent not playing the game, especially when you compare it to how long the gameplay section actually was, feels really, really out of whack. But on top of that, the actual premise that we were exposed to doesn't really fit, in my opinion. So that's that mission. That's this video. That's the end. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this map, what you think could be improved, and maybe what you liked about it. I did think that, to its credit, that cutscene after the seemingly pointless shuttle crash, the cutscene where we were flying over, waiting, like where there wasn't any dialogue, we were just flying over and taking stuff in. I thought that was pretty neat. It was the best part about the entire map. Unfortunately, it was smack dab in the middle of a really long briefing and then a really long section afterwards, and was part of, again, the opening 14 minutes of this 18-minute mission, because we were just waiting for gameplay to start happening. So, yeah, whatever.